Hello, my friends, Takuya here, and oh my god, guys, Gladiator 2! Gladiator 2, oh my god, I never thought that we would see this day. At the time that I'm recording this, you can probably see that my hair is wet. I literally had just gotten back from working out, had taken a shower, opened up my phone, and what do I see? A trailer for Gladiator 2 from Paramount Pictures. Now, I will be honest, my friends, Gladiator by Ridley Scott, that movie from the year 2000, that is easily one of my favorite movies of all time. In fact, I would even say it is my favorite movie, easily up there with the original Lord of the Rings trilogy. I love that movie. It's for that exact reason that I'm sure that many of you saw when I did the analysis on Napoleon by Ridley Scott. He is the same director who did things for Gladiator, and I went into this movie having extremely high hopes and was subsequently extremely disappointed. And me saying that is putting it quite lightly. But in a day and age of movies not having any original ideas and everything being a sequel, a prequel, or some kind of spin-off, this is a movie that I'm gonna say right now, even though I have not seen the trailer outright, I am tentatively excited just by virtue of the name. And I'm inherently biased. I know that from the beginning because, again, Gladiator 1 is my favorite movie of all time. It really is. And so with this 3-minute trailer that has been released, let's go ahead and go through it together. I want to pick apart some things. I want to see what costumes look like, what acting looks like, what the setting and what it looks like. I haven't done any research into this at all, mind you. So as we are going and watching this, I'm going to kind of talk about this, and we're also going to try and see what kind of story they're putting together for how they're even doing a sequel in the first place, and whether or not it's like a direct sequel or whether it just takes place in the Roman Empire and it's the same kind of director, just making a Gladiator movie, how it relates to the original, I mean. First off, Denzel Washington. This is something a lot of people have been talking about. Okay. From the very beginning, obviously it's saying that the trailer is beginning. That is Denzel Washington. It looks like playing some kind of wealthy individual. You can definitely tell how wealthy the individual that he's playing is. There's lots of gold that is on him, lots of big jewelry pieces. It looks like that is a leopard skin off the get-go. So I'm guessing immediately that he is supposed to be portraying someone who is North African, so to speak, maybe Numidian or something along those lines. A person who probably wouldn't be as dark as what Denzel Washington is, mind you, but still it's something that can work. And he is most certainly and very obviously wealthy, working with a person who is in a toga, so likely some kind of patrician, maybe senator, someone like that. Okay, did you see that piece right there? Open shot of the Colosseum. I am immediately seeing in this a water fight with boats. As I'm sure many people are aware, the fun fact that is often thrown around with the Colosseum is that they would flood it on occasion and use it to recreate naval battles. If we are going to have that in here, that is something that I would love to see. That sounds truly amazing. And of course, immediately after that, we have what looks like it's Pedro Pascal in a very nice looking uniform. I actually love the attention to detail in here. Going into this looks so much better than anything that we saw with Cleopatra. This right here is a highly decorative musculata. A musculata, for anyone who is confused, that is like the muscle. That is when a armor is literally made to conform to the muscle of one's chest. It is a very form-fitting, it is a very stylish armor that someone would wear, and it's essentially an ancient version of a cuirass. You see, the strapping is how each thing is connected. It's not just like bolted with modern technology or anything like that. It's actually strapped to all of it. It has the different strands that are going down. It has all the different like leather thongs that are going down. This all looks really good. And then there's the bracers. You know what? We're gonna ignore the whole thing with bracers. All right, there's a chance that a gladiator might, in this sense, actually have some additional armor on their hands specifically to be able to do some fancy things. You never know. We're going to move on from there. It's fine. But this is Pedro Pascal holding a very bloody gladius with what appears to be dead soldiers on the ground. And those do indeed look like soldiers because you can see from here, they have like the actual Roman helmet. And this appears to be segments of like a pauldrons for a lorica segmentata, like the Roman segmented plate armor, though calling it plate is not exactly the right term. This shot right here, it looks gorgeous. I do love this. Okay, so here we go. All right, all right, all right. We've confirmed immediately from this shot here that this is something that is a direct sequel. It is actually something that is based off the original Gladiator. We are seeing that right now. So when this individual is saying that he will never forget he was there that day.
I never forgot it.
Ah, this is going to be Lucius. So this is the story of Lucius, the young boy from the original Gladiator series. Not series, movie, I mean. Wait, why does he look like he's going to be a gladiator? That never should have happened.
That a slave could take revenge against an emperor.
Where were you born?
I don't know. I never knew a mother nor a father.
You will be my instrument.
Okay, hold up. So here's what appears to be happening in the scenario. Lucius is fighting. He is going to be fighting in the arena, I guess. The character who is Denzel Washington is saying to him that he will be his instrument. So from that, either some kind of agent for political change, or in this case, actually just be a tool, like a gladiator that would be fighting for him. That means that Denzel Washington is not playing a noble per se. He's not playing a patrician, which I'm glad, considering that Hollywood would more than likely want to do something where you have like some kind of black patrician family within the Senate, which wouldn't really make sense. That wasn't a thing that happened. But there were some theories when this movie was announced that he was going to be playing like the emperor or something like that. I remember when people were talking about this. If he is a ludus master, if he is a person who is actually training gladiators and becomes very wealthy off of that, that would make 100% chance. That is a remarkably good direction to go in.
Who are you?
Did you hear that?
Okay. We're getting, I'm loving the kind of scenes that we're building in here. I'm loving the scenes for the crowd. I'm loving what we're seeing with the statues. You can see the detail. I love the detail of the statues that you can see all up here where they're like all golden. I don't know why. Okay, weird little thing to put in here. All of these statues should be painted. They're not painted. They're just marble. And the thing about Roman statues is that they weren't all white. They specifically were painted with the hues that they were. And so these things should be painted. They're not painted, and that's going to kind of bother me, but it still looks great.
The greatest temple.
Oh my god, the armor. I'm actually kind of fanboying right now here. It looks so good and stylish, and you are seeing such variance in armor and what things would look like. Okay, as an example, I've talked about this in shorts. What this soldier is equipped with right here, this is actually a form of Roman scale armor, something that was utilized. The Romans had many different types. They had mail type armor, they had scale armor, they had segmented armor, like in the case of the Lorca segmentata. They had musculata, which is the kind of armor that you see here that was very fanciful and oftentimes utilized by, say, generals and important leaders. I am loving the detail that appears to be that they are specifically giving this type of armor to individuals that are important. That is such a nice little detail that you don't really get to see in a lot of things. That then brings us to this shot, which is also fascinating for different reasons. One, in the first place, I'm guessing that just by the positioning of where these people are, that these are going to be the co-emperors, I'm guessing. It's two individuals that the way that they're positioned looks like they are of roughly equal status, and considering that Rome was an empire at this point, it is likely at a point where you had a emperor and a co-emperor that specifically would be ruling the empire together, which was a thing that was done by this time in order to be able to maintain succession and also actually govern and not have everything be in the hands of one individual. That would make these individuals that we see on the side here members of the Praetorian Guard, which we're seeing the purple. That would be something that would signify the royal lineage, like the imperial lineage of Rome. So that's something that is strong. And though they are wearing Lorca segmentata pauldrons, it looks like they are simultaneously wearing musculata, something that would be a mark of a significantly higher status. Is this armor 100% accurate? Probably not, no, but it is something that specifically does indicate their status, especially with the amount of purple that they have on them. Like, theoretically, they should not have purple capes like this. Even a single patch of purple on an individual was a mark of insane status. And you would know why, considering the cost of Tyrian purple, the dye that came from snails. Is it accurate? Probably not, no, but it is something that is a great indicator of status, and I love that little detail.
Rome ever built.
Oh yes, here we're getting the flood scenes. We're getting all of this. Okay, immediately, I know I'm pausing a lot, but I have to, because we have to point some things out here in the first place. So, naval battle is going on. They appear to be on a bireme, I believe that is, because it looks like 2 rows, I think, of Roman that they have, or it's a single row, it might be. But you are seeing in this shot so many different types of people from all these kinds of varying different areas with different themes of armor. And I love it. Like this individual on the side here that you can see, he is equipped with a scale suit of armor that only covers the neck and down one arm, meaning they're probably positioning him as a Murmillo, an individual that was one of the more heavily armed fighters. Simultaneously, other individuals here seem to have thematic type armor, so they're probably going to be indicating that they're from a specific battle. But then the individual, it shoots right past it so quick, I have to even go back to point it out. The individual that fires this arrow is wearing a Greek hoplite helmet, meaning this is something that they're probably trying to recreate a battle between the Greeks and some other force, which is a fascinating thing to see. Like, that is good, and oh my god, these guys are creepy. Ridley Scott, as always, we know.
There are victories yet still to come.
General Acacius. All right. Okay, hold up. We're getting not only scenes of gladiatorial combat, we're getting scenes of actual war with, again, such good shots of armor. I love this. I love it. Look. This is the point that I'm saying. Not only is this showing amazing shots for armor, you're seeing the classic Lorica segmentata, something that was given to basic soldiers because of how cheap and easy it was to produce. You are also seeing soldiers that are equipped with the Lorica Mela, the different ring mail type armor that soldiers would have been wearing. You are also seeing just basic, like, it's not soldiers that are doing this. They might be Marines, but they are basic workers that are working on the boat that are pushing things forward. The thematic shields on all of these that would have been used for both protection and decoration are awesome. And on top of that, you can already see that these are towers on boats. I'm trying to remember off the top of my head specifically what this type of ship was called, but the Romans specifically loved to fight on naval battles utilizing mobile fighting platforms. So one of the things that they would do when they would hit their ships against an opponent's ship to land board and then try to fight them on the opponent's ship is that they loved having towers on their big heavy ships that they could put archers, slingers, javelin men, and whatnot on top that would be able to rain down fire upon an opponent. So the fact that it's not just regular ships, they're showing this, and then some ships are even equipped with artillery, which is a real thing that they did. Oh my god, it looks so good. I feel I shouldn't be getting this excited, but I am.
Subjects, she must feed them. They can eat war.
They must feed the subjects so they can eat war? Okay. Okay, we're getting some really good battle scenes that are going here.
The arena turns slaves into gladiators, the gladiators into free men.
What I'm confused about is like, okay, if that main character is Lucius, how is it that he is now a gladiator? I thought that he was very well off. There's no reason for him to become a gladiator after the events of the first movie.
You have something in you. I knew it from the start.
Did you now?
Rage.
Okay, interesting thing that we're seeing here in the first place. This looks like, I'm guessing from the armor here, a woman who has taken an arrow. Our character here is very upset by this. I'm guessing this happens in a previous battle. I'm wondering what is the context in which you actually have a woman who is fighting. Clearly, this is an armor that is specifically meant for her because it is a female-styled cuirass. That's something that is meant for her. So that's not a situation where she is pretending to be a male. Scythian, perhaps? Maybe one of the representations of a Amazon fighter? There are multitudes of explanations for why this is the case. I don't know. I would have to actually see the real movie to know what is the context of this scene.
That rage is your gift.
Okay. We're getting a gladiator that's now facing off against beasts. Oh, I love that. I don't think that there's a context in which you'd actually have a rhino that would be willing to let a person ride it. Maybe they could get someone trained, and you know that that kind of scene would be massive for the people of Rome, because everything about the gladiatorial games was a show. Most gladiators survived combat because you specifically didn't want your gladiators that you spent months and years training to just die. You needed them to bleed, yes, but you wanted them to put on a show for the arena. And the way that this guy in his, just all kind of mismatched armor with big fancy pieces, this is a Murmillo. This is the style of what he's going for here. Everything you see here is about showing off, and I love that.
Together, and when it charges, break for the wall.
Okay. We're seeing some strategy. There's some blood on that horn. Oh.
Whose head?
Whoo. Oh, I can't even react. That just looks good. And many beasts were slain in the arena over the course of Rome's history. That's something that specifically was utilized, though more often than not, they didn't have beast fighting gladiators to kill the gladiators. The gladiators would put on a show specifically to kill the beast, yes, but if you had people that were meant to die in the arena to a beast, like a lion or anything else like that, it was specifically supposed to be war criminals that were given barely a fighting chance and then thrown against them. It was a mode of execution primarily.
Could I give you that would satisfy this fury?
The entire Roman armies.
Oh, too much. Whoa, hold up. That was a crossbow. Here's the thing. I know that a number of people looking at this are probably going to say that that's not accurate. I can't see the full details on this, but the Romans did develop an early type of crossbow that they utilized. It was something that, especially going towards the end of the Roman Empire, was specifically utilized by house guards. Like, you had private soldiers that were paid by nobles to defend their private estates and these kinds of things, and a number of those would specifically utilize crossbows that they could keep hooked and ready to go. Is he firing that at the Emperor, though? They are. He did. Is that a rebellion? Are we going to Spartacus territory here? Rome must fall.
Give it a push.
Uh-huh.
We make it out alive. All right.
Why? What? I don't like the music that is in the background there. It's that in and of itself is bothersome. I don't like the modern inflections of hip hop element that we've seen in here for a number of these. It feels out of place and weird, but the scenes are beautiful.
Tears on the mausoleum floor. Blood stains the Colosseum doors.
Okay, whoa.
Belong to Maximus.
To Maximus.
To you. What is the dream of Rome? If people are not free.
What are the dreams of Rome if the people are not free? It feels like a little wishful thinking in this, considering that, I mean, from what we know about Roman history, they weren't exactly about liberating people, per se. The entire Roman society was dependent upon slaves. Like, that was a major problem that they had, is that specifically many people were able to get rich off of the labor of slaves, but this also did hurt the lower classes. It's one of the reasons as to why the lower classes were so dependent upon aid from the state, because they got such cheap grain from other places that were able to be shipped in and support them. The power, I don't know what Denzel's character in here is doing within, it looks like, the Senate, or what he exactly is doing, but there is some machinations that is going on behind the scenes that I'm fascinated about, and he most certainly does appear to be some kind of merchant or trainer of gladiators.
Now I will control an empire.
Oh, whoa. I was owned, now I will control an empire. Hold up. Is this actually verging into Spartacus territory? For rebellion. So it's going to focus on war?
Strength and honor. This our Rome treats its heroes.
Tears on the mausoleum floor.
I'm so confused by that detail here. Are we actually getting into full rebellion territory? Okay. All right. That is the whole thing. There isn't any other little details going to throw at the... Okay, some kind of scene at the end. Wow. That is what I actually have to say here at the end. Wow. I am not sure what it is that they are going to do with the story. I am not sure about that at all, especially considering that from everything I'm seeing, this is a direct sequel to the original Gladiator. But the attention to detail that has been given when it comes to armor, when it comes to the naval forces, when it comes to all of these other details are amazing. And that in and of itself gives me high hopes that in comparison to things with, say, Napoleon, which yes, they had beautiful presentations of, say, soldiers in that as well, though they completely screwed Napoleon's character in the first place. This actually gives me a lot of hope, and I really hope that I am not, in the end, disappointed by this, because Napoleon killed a lot of goodwill that Ridley Scott had built up over the years. It really did. So let's see what this is then. Gladiator 2. Gladiator 2 is an upcoming epic historical drama, directed and co-produced by Ridley Scott, serving as a sequel to Gladiator. The premise of it is that over 2 decades after the event of Gladiator, okay, so it is a direct thing, Lucius, the grandson of Rome's former emperor, Marcus Aurelius, and son of Lucilla, lives with his wife and child in Numidia. Okay, so it is actually the territory there in North Africa, which would indicate that Denzel Washington's character, if that is where they meet, that is likely where that takes place. That would make sense. Roman soldiers led by General Marcus Acacius invade, forcing Lucius into slavery. Why? Inspired by the story of Maximus as depicted in the original 2000 film, Lucius resolves to fight as a gladiator while opposing the rule of the young emperors Caracalla and Geta. That would make so much sense, actually, for why those two characters that we were seeing there that were depicted all in gold looked absolutely batshit crazy. Hold on. We got to go back into this. I'm not sure which one is supposed to necessarily represent Caracalla in this. Hold on. Where is it? No, that was not far enough. Okay. If anyone is wondering why it is that this guy appears insane, that's because if this is supposed to be Caracalla here, it's because he kind of was. The way that Roman politics had worked at this time after the death of Marcus Aurelius and of course Commodus, who was seen as crazy as well, you saw a period of time known as the period of 5 emperors, or the time of 5 emperors. This is a point in Roman history in which a rapid series of emperors rose to power and died all in the span of like a few years, and the entire state practically fractured. It did come together again, but this was an extremely tumultuous time for Rome. Caracalla was a very complicated feature, and he didn't really like ruling, or really the elements of ruling. He found administration to be mundane. Yeah, he liked building bathhouses was one of his big things, if I recall correctly. His reign featured domestic instability and external invasions by Germanic peoples, and was really one of the points of big decline for Rome at this point. So if we are talking about a point in which literal civil war is raging within Rome, it actually would make sense that what this ends up being is not a civil war gladiator rebellion moving in the form of like Spartacus. It would make sense if the conflict that ends up being created in here is more along the lines of a civil war conflict between varying factions in Rome. That would be fascinating to see from a gladiatorial perspective, especially since fighters could just be recruited in to fight from one faction or another. That is so interesting to see. What are the comments saying about this? The producers, we've got Denzel. Now let's throw a rap song in there to emphasize the Roman Empire. Literally, Denzel is basically portraying Denzel as an ancient Roman. Yeah, he did appear to be making an emergency call to Hans Zimmer. Yeah, see, the music choice for this was definitely off. But this Jay-Z song mentions a Coliseum. Yeah, let's stick that in there. Yeah, that was a bit off. I will say this, there's a lot of negative comments in this, or at least comments that are making fun of it, like this is a movie that never needed a sequel. And yeah, I agree, Gladiator never did actually need a sequel. It was an amazing film in the first place, but of all things that could be created as a sequel, the fact that they're doing this is something that I want to be tentatively excited for. In fact, you saw over the course of this trailer just how much I have been fanboying over all of their varying different armors, weapons, and everything that has been shown. That is, it looks fantastic. It looks visually stunning. Depending upon what they do with the actual story, since this appears to be just the exact same story as the first Gladiator, just with Lucius, like that appears to be what it is. It is literally the same story as Gladiator 1, just with a new character that was already in the first one. That in of itself might leave a bad taste in people's mouth if that is the case, but I don't know. We haven't seen the entirety of the plot or what is going on, why any of this is happening in the first place. And so I will say right now, my judgment is that I am excited to watch the movie. I don't know if it will actually be good, but there are a lot of things about this that actually give me hope. I just really don't want to be disappointed like I was with Napoleon. But that's my opinion. For all of you who've been watching, please let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I cannot wait to see what it is that you all think. And really, let's put up a poll in like the community page after this video goes live as to whether or not you are excited or how it is you feel. Either way, my friends, thank you very much for watching, and I hope that when I do my eventual analysis of this movie, that it does not go the way of Napoleon. May God have mercy on all of our souls if it does. Either way, goodbye, my friends. I'll see you all next time.